What actually is the diplomacy that America is conducting on India-Pakistan conflict?
Pakistan is the only true ally of the United States, and they have been allies since 1947. So U.S. has interest. India seems to be on the aggressive side of the equation, and that they are trying to, of course, so they are trying to resolve the issue.
What prompted India to come to this extreme, where now escalation is going high?
So they have and they have to create a situation where they look like heroes, right? They look like brave people. The people who are running the show there, they have a different perspective at all, which fits into their model, which is happening right now.
Whenever there is any foreign high level dignitary visiting India, India creates a situation, creates a false flag operation, and then implicates Pakistan for political point scoring.
They are looking for certain things and they are expecting a certain outcome. So probably that served their purpose if that is the situation.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello and welcome to program Inside in V News English. Dear viewers, tension between Pakistan and India is continuing. India continue to make attacks at the line of control. However, according to security sources, Pakistani security forces at the line of control giving a befitting response to unprovoked Indian firing. So far, in last 24 hours, more than 7 important military posts of Indian Army have been destroyed by Pakistan Army. However, there is another unfortunate aspect of the Indian unprovoked firing and shelling at the line of control. Since this morning, India has resorted firing and shelling at civilian population, resulting in the martyrdom of more than 5 people in Azad Jammu and Kashmir near line of control, which is a violation of international law. Whenever there is a conflict, civilian areas, civilian population is never targeted. And when we talk of Pakistan Army's retaliation, Pakistan Army in retaliation only targeting the Indian military post. Now coming to the other side of the Pakistan, in last 24 hours, Pakistani security forces, due to an effective security and monitoring system, have shot down more than 77 Indian drones. So these drones were spotted almost across Pakistan in different cities. And India, after losing 5 of its fighter jets, has resorted to this new tactics by making a drone attack on Pakistan. So in drone attacks, there have been casualties, there have been few people who got injured, but due to the effective response by Pakistani security forces, most of these drones have been shot down. What is this happening? What is the future of peace and security? To discuss this all, and particularly how United States is taking interest, we are joined by very, very senior political analyst, a politician from United States of America, Mr. Shahid Ahmed Khan, who always keep very deep eye and deep interest on Pakistani affairs, Pakistan's security matters, Pakistan's relations with the United States. Mr. Shahid Ahmed Khan, very warm welcome to program Inside in V News English. So I would like to seek your comment that American Secretary of State called the Indian leadership as well and Pakistani leadership as well. Right. So please share your thoughts with us. America is taking deep interest and America is showing neutrality. What actually is the diplomacy that America is conducting on India-Pakistan conflict?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for taking me on the program. I think it's a very important topic you are covering today. And as far as your question about the Secretary
American
of State
diplomacy.
American diplomacy and Secretary of State call to the Pakistani officials. The Secretary of State is the top diplomat of the United States. Secretary of State falls on the behalf of the President of the United States. So means U.S. is looking at this situation very carefully And when we talk about the U.S. interest in the region, of course, U.S. has a lot of interest in the region. U.S. has much larger interest in India for sure. Their IT infrastructure and a lot of other stuff, BOPs and many other things are there. So U.S. has larger, and there are other business ventures in India. But at the same time, U.S. has a lot of interest in Pakistan as well.
True.
Most recently, they are exploring the mines and minerals and opportunities in Pakistan. And U.S.
Hmm.
companies are serving the northern areas of Pakistan for the exploration of, lithium and rare earths and whatnot, copper and all that stuff. So U.S. has a lot of interest in Pakistan. Pakistan always has been an extremely important country for the United States for the obvious reason. Pakistan is situated in a geography. On the one side is Iran, the other side is India and China and Afghanistan. And Pakistan is the only true ally of the United States, and they have been allies since 1947. So U.S. has interest. U.S. has interest in the region. Of course, in this situation which we are discussing at this time, India seems to be on the aggressive side of the equation, and that they are trying to, of course, so they are trying to resolve the issue. The Secretary of State Paul and the other diplomats from the other part of the globe are also contacting both of these countries to calm down. So let's see what happens, because in this situation, like I said before, India seems to be aggressive, and let's see how Pakistan responds. Pakistan has been extremely responsible in this situation so far.
Shahid Ahmed Khan Saab, before the Indian strike inside in Pakistan, the diplomacy was quite active, and you also shared your thoughts about American diplomacy. Pakistan was in touch with Saudi Arabia, with UAE, with Kuwait, with China, with Turkey, with the Iranian government as well, and telephone calls were also made with number of European countries as well. And Pakistan
Correct.
has been offering things that let's investigate this Palgam incident. Pakistan offered its cooperation into the investigation, but despite international diplomacy by Gulf and Arab countries, then India did not stop. India finally attacked, and civilian areas were attacked. So, what do you think? What actually prompted India, right, to attack Pakistan? India didn't pay any attention to the even Arab and Gulf friends, and finally resorted to this attack. Although Pakistan gave a befitting response to this Indian aggression, 5 of the Indian fighter jets were shot down. So, question is, do you think diplomacy by the friendly countries failed? What prompted India to come to this extreme, where now escalation is going high?
So, if you look at it from a different angle, this is you looking at one side of the story, which means the diplomacy, international diplomacy. But the group which is governing India, they have their political interests also, right? So the campaign is built on a certain premises. This
To
Pakistan
election
is a
campaign,
vital
exactly.
part, right? Pakistan is a vital part, right? And of
Hmm.
course, there are certain as the political cycle in every country and every region is. So the current administration of the India, they are on downward slope, right? So it seems like there's certain area where the election are going to have, they might end up losing it, right? So they have and they have to create a situation where they look like heroes, right? They look like brave people.
Hmm.
They look like so it is so diplomacy of international diplomacy on one side, the internal issues of the political issues
Political
within the
agenda,
country,
internal political
and it's
agenda, I
different,
say.
right? So we have to look at from both side of the equation, and then we see why is this happening and why this should not happen, right? So, but the people who are running the show there, they have a different perspective at all, which fits into their model, which is happening right now.
Shahid Sahab, if you look into last 20-25 years incidents that happen in India, mostly whenever there have been high-profile American politician or dignitary visiting when former US President Clinton visited, then there was an incident. And then when former US President Bush visited India, there was also an incident. In 2002, there was an planned terrorist attack on Indian Parliament, and Pakistan was blamed. Afzal Guru, a Kashmiri leader, was arrested and finally hanged. And when former US President Obama visited India in 2010, then again there was an incident. So on 22nd of April, this Pahalgam incident, this terror attack, when it took place, the American Vice President was on a visit to India. On most of such occasions, blame was put on Pakistan. So why it is so? Whenever there is any foreign high level dignitary visiting India, India creates a situation, creates a false flag operation, and then implicates Pakistan for political point scoring.
Well, it's a good question to ask from Indians, of course, but it does so happen. I mean, like you said, uh, you have mentioned so many times that it happened. So why does it happen? So, like
Then
I said
Obama was
before, I
also
mean,
there.
it's served. If that happens the way you are saying, it has to be a reason behind it, right? There has to be a relationship of between the cause and effect. So
Hmm.
they are looking for certain things and they are expecting a certain outcome. So probably that served their purpose if that is the situation. Unfortunately, this kind of incident, I mean, either happened like you just said, but it is very hard to prove that the way it happened, right? The way where you perceive it is happening, right? But they happened. That happened,
Hmm.
and there was certain outcome after that, which actually ended up in a conflict between these two countries, which should not happen actually.
Another, the next immediate question is that now even United States of America, as I mentioned, the Gulf countries, the Arab countries, China, Turkey. Today, the Japanese foreign minister called Foreign Minister Dar and also discussed this thing and expressed concern and urged both sides to exercise restraint. So now the question is: do you think this escalation, which is at the highest level now? Right, India is resorting firing and shelling at line of control on civilian areas, on Pakistani military posts, and getting a harder response as well. But now, due to this diplomacy, do you think the tension will come down?
See, war is not a good thing, right? War is but no matter how do you see it or how do you cut it or slice it, the act of war and war should not happen. Right? That's the policy, sort of a principle statement. However, according to the UN Charter, if you are a victim of an aggression, so you have the right to respond. It's the basic
Mm.
simple. If you look at from 5,000 feet above ground, and you look at the rules and regulation of the United Nations, then a country who have the victim of the aggression of any other
Has
country,
every right to respond.
they have a right to respond.
Hmm.
It's going to be a big hard from Pakistan side if they do not respond, or if they figure out a way how to not get into the war, which is going to be detrimental for both of those countries. But it is the country has to decide. The foreign policy experts and the military elite has to decide what to do next. But this is going to be a big-hearted gesture of Pakistan on the request from international community not to respond aggressively towards India. But let's see what happens. They have the right to do it. Though.
Shahid Ahmed Khan Sahib, another unfortunate thing is that incident took place in Pahalgam, but across India, right across India, minority Muslims are being attacked in the name of religion. Although these Muslims who live in different parts of India, they have nothing to do. Kashmiri students studying in different parts of Indian cities and Indian universities, colleges, they are being attacked. So, what do you think? Why India has, and particularly extremist Hindus, have come to this level that they are taking the revenge of that particular incident with the Indian Muslims? Although in Pahalgam incident, those who rescued, those who saved rest of the tourists, those who brought injured to the hospital, and everyone was Muslim. So then again, yet to then again, Indians are blaming, particularly Indian extremist Hindus are blaming Muslims for everything, and Muslims are being attacked in India, which is the worst violation of religious freedom. Yes.
Unfortunately, in this present administration of India, the group which ruling India, they have a certain model of India. They would just want to move on to that direction, and it is their responsibility to take care of their citizen, irrespective of what their religious affiliation or their
Ideas and beliefs.
ideology is. Right, this is the responsibility of the state to take care of them. And unfortunately, if that is happening, that is inappropriate, and this is incorrect. This should not have happened. They are responsible for every citizen life and respect. So if it's not happening, then the administration should look back and figure out how to protect this minority who are victimized by a certain mindset. I'm sure not all the Hindus are like that, or
Hmm.
not all the Christians are like that, and not all the Muslims are like that. But in this particular situation, if an aggressive group is targeting a certain religious group, then the responsibility of the state is to protect that group. So if they are not doing it, so they are in violation of many laws, international laws. I mean, they are. It should not have happened. Of course.
Shahid Ahmed Khan Saab, there have been mechanisms between India and Pakistan to address the terrorism challenge. And when we talk of terrorism, it's a global challenge. Afghanistan have been confronting it, Pakistan have been confronting it, United States, European countries. But Pakistan has offered always, whenever there have been any incident, and after the incident, blame used to be put against Pakistan. So now question is, and we will be seeking your thought and your analysis is that how this challenge of terrorism could be tackled, what need to be done, because India is not listening, not talking, not accepting diplomacy, and whenever there is any incident, it's blaming Pakistan. Now, immediate question is that how this issue of terrorism could be tackled between India and Pakistan. Any third force may intervene, United Nations, United States. So how it will be, any foreign power can bring India and Pakistan to negotiation table and then telling them, let's discuss first Jammu and Kashmir, then terrorism, then water.
Well, it's a loaded question, and of course, Pakistan is the victim of the terrorism for a long, long period of time. So, state of Pakistan is a constant war against terrorism. They're trying to protect themselves. Trying to protect their citizens. Trying to protect their territorial integrity. So this terrorism is unfortunately happening from all around the actually the countries around Pakistan. And
True,
Pakistan has effectively dealt with this a long, long time ago, and then they destroyed their command and control centers a while ago.
true.
Then they moved into the another country called Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is not. I don't even consider Afghanistan a country. It's a tribal society, and they have
Hmm.
isolated tribes, and they declare themselves president and the generals and whatever they want to do it, and there are warlords here. So this is what they do for living. Some of, not all of them, but some of the people who are attacking Pakistan and trying to take, and they have different motivations. So it has to be dealt internationally. Pakistan also needs a lot of international support because Pakistan wants to get rid of this terrorism. So that is the thing. I mean, international community should actually come out and
Come out.
support Pakistan to
Hmm.
curb this menace, right? I mean, this is what it is. And international community actually, the US actually quite helpful in the past, but now probably it is the time because it's coming from somewhere else, coming into Pakistan and going everywhere. Everywhere means, I mean, in this case, if the India says coming from Pakistan, actually, I don't think they have their own issues and their own groups who are doing these things. It's in many parts of the world. It is many countries. If you look at it from a global perspective, there are many countries
Hmm.
who are victims of this terrorism. But in this region, because we are so close proximity to each other, it gets from one place to the other place, and there's certain ideology wants to take over certain part of the country, certain part of the globe. Unfortunately, this is the true situation, and in this case, Pakistan needs a lot of international help and intelligence
Sport and
and
sport.
whatever the requirement is to curb this menace. So Pakistan should. I think Pakistan is the biggest victim at this time.
Lastly, I would like to seek your comment that India also put in abeyance. Put in abeyance means suspension of Indus Water Treaty, which is the violation of all international law, which is the violation of this treaty as well. That in the past wars, 1971, and even there have been this clash in 1999 Kargil. This Indus Waters Treaty remain intact. So, need your thoughts that why India resorted to come to this level, suspending a treaty and threatening to block Pakistan's share of waters from India.
Well, the all of the 194 countries they should be abide by the international treaties. It's a very
True.
simple argument. I mean, if there's a treaty between India and Pakistan, and World Bank is sort of a mediator between this, and they have
Mm.
signed an agreement. India can't do that. Well, again, this is the first principle. The other thing is, I mean, controlling the water. It doesn't make sense. I mean, this is not acceptable in this modern world we are living in. That you can starve a country by shutting down their water source. It is just inhumane. It is just not possible. So, I mean, there are landlocked countries in the world. There are other countries who can derive resources from each other either, and there are agreement, a national agreement. India cannot do it, and India should not even talk about this. So shutting down the water and controlling the water, which is the source, the natural source from, unfortunately, coming from a country which is sort of an enemy country of Pakistan. They should not be doing it. They will, actually, they cannot do it. This is just impossible for them.
Thank you so much indeed, Shahid Ahmed Khan Saab, that despite your busy schedule, you participated in our talk show and you shared your thoughts on rising tension between India and Pakistan. And your view was that diplomacy should be given chance, and diplomacy is the only way forward. There should be peace. Escalation should be avoided. Dear
Before
viewers,
before
yes,
before
please go ahead.
before, I just want to make another comment, which means the comment is if you think the U.S. is playing a neutral role, so neutral role means that it is actually taking Pakistan's side, because
Hmm.
U.S. has a lot of broader interest in the in India. So if it's not taking their sides and they are even neutral, if perceived like they're neutral, actually they are taking Pakistan position on this thing. But thank you
That's
very much.
very, very important. That is the punchline of your entire program that American neutrality means that America is silently taking side of Pakistan. Thank you so much once again, Mr.
Thank you very
Shahid
much.
Ahmed Khan, Senior Democratic Party leader.
Thank you.
And dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.